China makes everything cheap, and it's destroying both China and everyone else. You can buy a toaster for $8, a t-shirt for $3, a smartphone for $100. Everything costs nothing. This sounds great. Cheap stuff for everyone. Consumers win. But here's the problem. Someone's paying the real cost. And it's destroying entire economies. Chinese factories run on razor-thin margins. Workers earn poverty wages. Environmental regulations don't exist. Quality is sacrificed. Safety is ignored. And it's all to hit price points so low that no one else can compete. The result: Western factories close. Jobs disappear. Manufacturing dies. Entire industries relocate to China. Then we're dependent. Can't make anything ourselves. Must import from China. At whatever price China sets. This is the China trap. Everything's too cheap to survive. Cheap enough to destroy competition, but not sustainable long term. Stay with me. Because what China's doing to global manufacturing will eventually collapse. And when it does, we're all trapped. Let's start with how China became the world's factory. 1980s, China opens to capitalism. They have one advantage: 1 billion people willing to work for almost nothing. Average Chinese factory wage, $50 per month. Compared to us, $2,000 plus per month. Chinese workers will do the same job for 1/40th the cost. This creates an impossible competitive situation. A US factory making toasters. Labor costs per toaster, $10 materials, $5 total cost, $15. Selling price, $20 to make profit. A Chinese factory making toasters. Labor cost per toaster, 25 cents materials, $4 cheaper because lower quality. Total cost, $4.25 selling price, $8 same product, half the price. And the Chinese factory still makes profit. American factory can't compete. They can lower quality, cut wages, it doesn't matter. Can't match Chinese costs. Result: American factory closes. Jobs gone. Town dies. This pattern repeats across every industry. Textiles, 60,000 plus US factories closed since 1990. Electronics, nearly all production moved to China. Toys, 75% made in China. Furniture, thousands of US factories closed. Steel, entire regions economically destroyed. But it's not just low wages. China has other cost advantages. Advantage 2, no environmental regulations. Dumping toxic waste, legal air pollution, no limits. Worker safety, optional. This dramatically reduces costs. Environmental compliance is expensive. Waste treatment costs money. Clean air requires expensive equipment. Chinese factories skip all of it. Their rivers turn colors. Air is toxic. Workers get sick, but costs stay low. Advantage 3, government subsidies. Chinese government subsidizes industry strategically. They lose money on purpose to destroy foreign competition. Steel industry. Chinese government gives billions in subsidies. Chinese steel sold below production cost. Result: global steel prices collapse. Foreign steel companies bankrupt. Chinese companies take market share. Once competition dies, China raises prices. They have monopoly. They control pricing. Advantage 4, intellectual property theft. Western companies spend billions on R&D developing new products. New technology. Chinese companies steal it. Copy designs. Reverse engineer products. No R&D costs. Then undercut original companies using their own stolen technology. This is why Chinese products are cheap. Not efficiency, not innovation. Theft, exploitation, and government manipulation. And it worked. By 2020, China manufactures 28% of global goods. More than us, Germany, Japan combined. But there's a trap. For China and everyone else. Here's China's problem. Their entire model is unsustainable. Problem 1, the wage trap. China's advantage is cheap labor. But cheap labor means poor people. Poor people can't buy products. China makes everything. But Chinese people can't afford to buy what they make. So they depend on exports. But as Chinese workers demand higher wages, which is happening, costs rise. The competitive advantage disappears. Already happening, Chinese factory wages increased 400% since 2000. Many factories moving to Vietnam, Bangladesh. Even cheaper labor. China's cost advantage is shrinking. China's stuck. Keep wages low and workers stay poor. Raise wages and lose competitiveness. Problem 2, the quality trap. Cheap prices require cutting quality. But cutting quality creates problems. Chinese products fail, break, sometimes dangerous. This damages China's reputation. Now China wants to move to high-quality manufacturing, but quality costs money. Higher quality means higher prices. Higher prices mean they can't compete on cost anymore. They're stuck in low quality, low price trap. Problem 3. The environmental catastrophe. Ignoring environmental regulations created pollution crisis. 16 of world's 20 most polluted cities are in China. Air pollution kills 1 million plus Chinese annually. Water pollution creates health crisis. Soil contamination ruins farmland. Now China must clean up. But cleanup costs trillions. These costs will be passed to manufacturers. Prices must rise. Problem 4. The debt trap. Chinese government and companies borrowed massively to build capacity. Ghost cities, empty factories, overcapacity everywhere. Corporate debt, 160% of GDP. Government debt, rising rapidly. This is unsustainable. When debt crisis hits, the whole model collapses. But here's the bigger problem. Everyone else is trapped too. The West's China trap is worse. Because we destroyed our own manufacturing. The dependency trap. US imports $500 billion from China annually. We can't make these things ourselves anymore. Medical supplies, 90% from China electronics, 75% from China pharmaceuticals. Key ingredients, 80% from China rare earth minerals, 90% from China. COVID exposed this. When China shut down, we couldn't get masks, ventilators, basic medical supplies. Our own hospitals couldn't function without Chinese imports. This is strategic vulnerability. China could cut us off any time. We'd be helpless. The job loss trap. 5 million plus US manufacturing jobs lost since 2000. Most went to China. These weren't just jobs. These were communities, middle-class livelihoods, economic stability, replaced by service jobs paying half as much. Regions economically devastated. Rust belts created. And those jobs aren't coming back. The factories are gone. The skills are gone. The infrastructure is gone. The innovation trap. When manufacturing moves, innovation follows. You can't design products if you don't understand manufacturing. Silicon Valley could design iPhones because California had electronics manufacturing. When manufacturing moved to China, innovation started moving to Chinese companies, now lead in EVs, solar panels, batteries, drones, 5G. They learned by manufacturing for others. Now they innovate themselves. And we're losing technological leadership. The political trap. Western politicians can't fix this. Bringing manufacturing back means higher prices. Voters hate this years of investment, no immediate results. Trade wars, economically painful, so they do nothing. Promise to fix it, but don't, because the political cost is too high. Meanwhile, dependency increases. Trap gets deeper, but the trap is about to spring. Because China's model is collapsing. Right now, China is in crisis. And it's going to affect everyone. Crisis 1. Real estate collapse. Chinese growth was built on real estate speculation. Ghost cities. Empty apartments bought as investments. Now the bubble is popping. Evergrande defaulted on $300 billion. Dozens of developers bankrupt. This represents 30% of Chinese economy. The collapse is catastrophic. Crisis 2. Demographic disaster. China's population is shrinking. Workforce declining. Aging rapidly. One-child policy created demographic crisis. Not enough young workers. Too many retirees. This means rising labor costs, shrinking consumer base, pension crisis. The cheap labor model dies with demographics. Crisis 3. Youth unemployment. 24% of Chinese young people are unemployed. Can't find jobs despite college degrees. This creates social instability, political pressure, and it shows the economy isn't creating good jobs anymore. Crisis 4. Export dependency. China needs exports to survive, but global economy is slowing. Western countries are de-risking from China. Exports are declining, and there's no domestic consumption to replace it. The model is breaking. What happens when China collapses? Supply chains break, prices spike, shortages everywhere, economic chaos globally. We can't quickly replace Chinese manufacturing. Takes years to build factories, train workers, develop supply chains. So we face either paying much higher prices, accepting shortages, economic crisis, all because we let everything become too cheap to survive. The China trap springs, and we're all caught. So here's what the China trap really is. A race to the bottom that nobody wins. China made everything cheap by exploiting workers, destroying environment, stealing technology, and getting government subsidies. The West bought cheap products, destroyed its own manufacturing, and became dependent. Now, China's model is collapsing under its own contradictions. Wages rising, environment toxic, debt unsustainable, demographics disaster. And we're trapped because we can't make things ourselves anymore. The lesson: when everything is too cheap to survive, eventually nothing survives. Cheap prices created by exploitation aren't sustainable. Destroying your manufacturing base to save money isn't smart. Dependency on rivals isn't strategy. We chose short-term savings over long-term sustainability. Cheap toasters over industrial capacity. Consumer prices over worker wages. And now we're paying the price. What do you think? Can we escape the China trap? Should we bring manufacturing home, despite higher costs? Drop your thoughts. Because right now, we're dependent on a collapsing system, and there's no easy way out. China's trap caught everyone, them and us. When everything is too cheap to survive, eventually everything collapses. We're about to find out what comes next.